So we've been there, I'm not exactly sure when, but we opened up about 50, 60 years ago, something like that. And what we do is we house, obviously, owner relinquished pets or stray animals that come into our facility. And, our ultimate goal is to reunite these animals with their owners. But if they remain unclaimed, they become ours and they go up for adoption. The animal control officers, they respond to all sorts of complaints from Smithtown residents. So if someone calls up about a loose dog or a vicious dog, stray dogs, stray cats, and wildlife as well. So we respond to all complaints from Smithtown residents regarding all animals. We enforce the animal control laws of the township and of the Department and Agriculture of Markets. A couple of years ago, we implemented a TNR program for the feral cats, which is a trap neuter release for the feral cat population of Smithtown. So someone has wild cats in your yard that, obviously they can't be touched, they can't be handled. The shelter will go over, we set traps, we trap them, we fix them, and then we release them to back where they came from, just to cut down on the population so they're not they're not
constantly
repopulating in your yards.
It doesn't take much for a few cats to turn into
a few hundred cats.
Yes, exactly.
And, in about 1 year, one female cat can give birth to 25 kittens. So you imagine how that will boom in your yard.
And what is it, about 4 months they could start having babies?
They can go into heat. Well, I'm not sure your mom, but a female cat can go into heat when she's actually nursing. So that's how quickly they repopulate. I don't know if you guys have heard, but recently we've come under the purview of the Town of Smithtown Department of Public Safety. Under their jurisdiction, we've had a lot of growth, positive changes at the shelter under Chief John Valentine and Jim Garcia, who is our supervisor. Most important thing, in my eyes anyway, was we hired a shelter veterinarian, Dr. Zolo. So she's at the facility 5 days a week, and she takes care of all the day-to-day needs of our cats, our dogs. So that was actually one of to me, the most important things at the shelter. The second thing they did is they hired us a dog behaviorist. So, we have a couple of dogs that have been with us for a couple of years, and now we have a behaviorist. She comes in and she works with these problems that might have been prohibiting them from finding homes in the past. So that's really worked out well.
We are going under some really positive renovations at the shelter. We're going to be getting a medical treatment room, which will actually help our veterinarian. We can do more spaying and neutering for our ferals that we get in.
And our animals.
And our own animals, yes. Mm-hmm. And we are also getting a larger, I believe bigger, meet and greet room.
Actually, it's brand new.
Brand new meet and greet room.
It's a brand new room. So the meet and greet room is an area where the public can come in and interact with our animals that are for adoption, just out of that shelter setting. It's quiet, it's removed, and it's kind of self-contained. So it's a more serene and relaxing environment for the animals. So
it's meant to simulate what would be home for them.
Right. We're also we're building a dog park in the back of the building for the shelter dogs. So, and strictly for the shelter dogs. It's awesome. So the dogs are actually going to be able to run, play, stretch their legs. It's huge. We could put 2, 3 dogs in there at a time, so they can just run and play, which gets out a lot of that frustration also. Imagine being in the kennel day in, day out. It's boring and it's frustrating. So, and it does contribute to some negative behaviors. So,
and we're getting new dog pens as well. So we're actually going to have a giant dog park for our dogs, and we already have 2 outdoor pens, but we're getting more in addition to that.
Pens, but they're huge.
They're very big in size.
A puppy might look at it and say, "Oh my goodness, this looks like a dog park to him." So Spencer here's playing with the tags. It's very cute. So, as always, we attend adoption events to promote the shelter animals, and we do have a pretty large volunteer program. We have some awesome volunteers. They help in our endeavors. whether it's with adoption events or sitting with the cats or kittens, walking the dogs, taking the dogs to our new dog park. So anyone interested, stop in or give us a call and we tell you all about how to sign up as a volunteer because we're always looking for new good volunteers.
We actually have an event tomorrow at the St. James Farmers Market.
Christy and I will be at the St. James Farmers Market.
Yes, we'll be there tomorrow.
We're going to have 2 of our dogs, so if anyone's in the area and they want to meet Dinah and Sammy, come down.
on down.
We'll be there from 9 until 2, I believe. And that's in that's at the Lutheran Church. So today we brought with us, this is Spencer and his mom Tracy. Yes. So they actually came to us as part of that TNR program I was telling you about. Someone called, said they had 2 cats that were wild in their yard. And so we did trap them. Of course, within 5 minutes, we realized we had him first, Spencer, who's the kitten. Within 5 minutes, we realized this is no wild cat, obviously, as he's suckling on us and playing with our eyebrows, Yeah. I mean, Tracy's definitely a little on the more reserved side. So we brought them in and we had him first, and he was happy, friendly, healthy kitten, and so we decided we're going to keep him and place him up for adoption. Now we didn't have mom yet, so we didn't quite know, if she was going to be friendly or not. So we had him at shelter about a week. We had done all his medical, and then he just suddenly, inexplicably started losing weight. And Dr. Zolo here was completely baffled as to why, because diagnostically he was normal. Everything we were doing, so he started receiving supportive care like fluids and vitamins and things like that. And now in the meantime, while this is going on, we did trap mom and we had her spayed, and I realized, she's friendly. I could pick her up, I could hold her. You wanna? Look at Tracy. And Dr. Zolo had this idea. We couldn't understand why he was losing weight. So
There was
Dr.
no medical reason for it.
Dr. Zolo had this idea that, she realized we had mom. She said, why don't we try putting mom in with him and see how he does? Well, let me tell you, he is a mama's boy. No sooner did we put him in, she was not producing milk anymore. He immediately started to suckle on her, bite her ears, play with her feet, and,
Which he still does.
Yes, he does. He loves her, and she loves him back. So it worked. That's what he was needing. He was missing his mom. So he's just, now he's a big, fat, happy, healthy kitten. So we are looking to place them together. So they're very sweet, as you can see.
We don't always have where we require that they go up for adoption
Very special
together.
cases.
But they kind of dictated to us that
Right.
that's really what they need
Well,
to be
Spencer
happy.
told us.
Yeah.
Spencer told us that this is the way it was going to be, like it or not. So we just complied because that's what we're there for. The shelter currently houses, 5 dogs. But we can house up to 20 dogs. And we currently have about 60 cats and kittens at the shelter. We also, in the past, we've housed rabbits, birds, snakes. Yeah, guinea pigs, ferrets, you name it. We are not just dogs and cats. We handle whatever animals come our way. We have roosters, which you've probably heard. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have heard them quite a bit. But we have roosters, we've had chickens, peacocks, all sorts of animals at the shelter. Does anyone have any questions?
Not even one?
So we have any takers? 2 more don't matter. Sold! Does anyone want to hold Spencer? You do.
Spencer's about 3 months.
Yes. And mom is about 10 years old. 10 years, I'm sorry. She's about 10 months old.